And I'm back to you guys today. Today we're going to be talking about the best things and the worst things in Call of Duty Modern Warfare when it comes to all of the playable things in the game, whether it's guns, score streaks, or abilities, you know, all that good stuff. And we'll probably talk about the maps, but probably not that much. But we're going to be pretty much just talking about the weapons and what I think is probably going to be used a lot when the full game comes out and what has been used a lot in the beta and the alpha. So over the beta and the alpha, we've been able to use a total of about like 15-20 guns. So the 3 SMGs, the MP7, MP5, and the AUG. All of these SMGs are relatively good. I feel like the MP7 is definitely one of the weaker ones. The MP5 is just so deadly, it's so quick shooting that it pretty much maps anybody from any range if you're accurate enough. If you have a sight, it's even easier. The AUG is a pretty good like mid-range SMG. It can still do the job close range, but it could definitely do that mid-range damage that maybe an MP5 struggles and an MP7 obviously really struggles. MP7 is good if you're just running in, like if you're playing Hackney Yard or some shit, you literally just run in and just absolutely gun everybody, so it's very interesting. When we go to assault rifles, all of these assault rifles were pretty good minus the AK. The AK was probably one of the worst weapons in the beta. It wasn't bad to use, but if you didn't know how to use it, you were absolutely getting melted by the M4A1, M13. The FAMAS is pretty good. It's a one burst. They need to fucking nerf that. It's elite. Even the Odin was really good. I maxed it out. I maxed out all these assault rifles and tried all the attachments. And all of them seem like they're pretty good guns. I feel like all these guns are going to be really nice to use, really satisfying to get kills with. So it's really awesome to see. When we got to use shotguns, we only got to use pretty much the Olympia. It was a double barrel vertical shotgun, as well as the Model 680, which is pretty much like the standard tactical shotgun. Both of these were really good. I went on like an 18 kill streak with the model. It was really fun to use, and I feel like the other shotguns, like this auto shotgun, is going to be interesting to see how it plays out in the game, as well as this kind of like really fast pump shotgun. But both of the weapons were really fun to use. I feel like attachments just made these weapons so much more fun to use in pretty much every single weapon. LMGs were god awful. I hated them. Nobody liked them, and I think nobody liked them at least. They were super slow. Attachments did basically nothing. And they were just, as you can see, they're both level 1, level 2. I didn't use them. They were kind of whack. They definitely need to not be used or buffed somewhere or the other. When it comes to marksman rifles, the EBR was god awful, but the MK2 is insanely good. Definitely one of the better things about this game. And sniping, the AX50 was interesting. I feel like it was a really good, satisfying sniper to use, but the ADS time was just way too slow. They definitely need to buff that when it comes to the actual game. It was good, but it was bad. It was like that only gun that I really see that was good and bad. When it comes to pistols and secondaries, we have the Deagle and the M19. M19 was a pea shooter. It takes 5 bullets to kill someone from like point blank. There's no fucking way that's happening. Deagle was insanely good. I maxed that bitch out in like a day. It was elite. Can't wait for the other pistols. Launchers, I really didn't use them, to be completely honest, only because they literally went to level 1 and that's it. I think the pillar goes up to level 2 or some shit, but they were really good in ground war taking out stuff, so I don't think they're going to be too much of a problem. I think the pillar was really good at killing people, but the Strela was not. When it comes to perks, all the perks in perk 1 were alright. Definitely double time. EOD, cold-blooded were better, especially against streaks, nades, and if you just wanted to move faster. Overkill was okay if you wanted to have like a shotgun as a secondary to a sniper class, but that's pretty much about it. And the good thing is you can have all the attachments. You weren't like limited to attachments, so overkill is actually really good. Scavenger was alright, but if you have a munitions box, you really don't need scavenger that much. Plus, people are using the same 3 guns anyway, so you don't really need to worry about that. When it comes to perk 2, the only really good ones I could see was probably Hardline and Ghost. The other 3 were alright. Restock was okay. You can recharge your equipment every 30 seconds. It's not too big, but if you just increases nade spam. When it comes to Hardline, it's okay, you know. 1 less kill when it comes to streaks is pretty useful. When it comes to high alert, vision pulses when people see you, it's just annoying to me, to be completely honest. I really didn't like that. Ghost was OP. You couldn't be seen by shit if you had this thing on. It was really good. And kill chain was alright. You would earn your current life credit for other kill streaks and stuff like that. It was alright. It just depends on how you use it. When it comes to perk 3, Spotter, Battle Hardened, and Shrapnel were super OP when it comes to just battling nades and stuns and stuff like that. If you were sniping or using like a long range weapon, Spotter was elite because you could see them from so far away. Amped and Tune-Up were alright, but I feel like these are better just like for other bigger game modes like Ground War and stuff like that. So those are probably the best out of the perks. When it comes to lethals, they were all pretty good. Claymores were absolutely busted. They need to nerf this bitch so quick. C4 was kind of slow, so I don't really see C4 being super utilized. Same thing with the proximity mine. It was super counterable, and I feel like that's how all these things should be, especially the Claymore. It should be counterable without you dying if you shoot it from like really close up, you know? The throwing knife was pretty good. It has a really good weight to it. It's very satisfying to get kills. Same thing with nades, and Semtex is probably the only respectable things to use. The thermites and molotovs were alright, at least in the default classes and in the 2v2, so not worried about anything there. When it comes to tacticals, most of these were okay. The snapshot grenade was super useful entering rooms and pre-firing, stuff like that. The gas grenade was okay when you want to do like a denial, entry denial for a little bit. Smoke grenades could be a little bit buffed, but I see why they're like that. Stuns and flashes were pretty much basic. If you don't have battle hardened or shrapnel, then you're pretty much fucked if you get hit by any of these. So it's very interesting. But that's pretty much the best things in guns and perks and lethals and stuff like that. When it comes to this game, we also have field upgrades. The better of the field upgrades was definitely the deployable cover, because you can pretty much put this bitch anywhere and have a little bit of cover. When you're capturing points in domination, this is super useful. Same thing with headquarters. Munition box was really useful on guns like the Odin, where your magazine size is really small, plus you only start with like 3 magazines to start with. So if you run out of those bullets and you're still alive, you drop your munitions box, you get instant ammo back, plus you get a little bit of points here and there for giving ammo to your friends. So it was really cool to see. The recon drone was stupid. I feel like maybe they're trying to go for the Black Ops 4 recon drone, where it literally scans everybody, but I don't think that's going to be useful too much, to be completely honest. Maybe like an S&D or something, but I don't really think it's useful. And the stopping power rounds, I didn't really see these being too useful, to be completely honest. As you can see, you can pretty much just change the mag in your gun. I didn't use them, to be completely honest, at all. And I saw some people using them, and it really didn't change much. Every gun melts anyway. I'm excited to see with Dead Silence. It's going to be a field upgrade, so it's going to be very interesting. Tactical insertion, they're bringing it back, so that's pretty cool. Trophy system is going to be super useful. EMP drones are going to be super useful, and weapon drop should be interesting too. So those are pretty much the best things when it comes to that stuff. Then we have a score streaks. So as you can see, UAVs and personal UAVs were super useful, especially in this game, because you don't have gunfire blips. And if you can have a constant UAV pretty much telling you where these guys are, super useful. I think the personal radar is good. I don't think it was like when you use it, but when you're playing against someone, it's very bad. The chopper literally shows up on everybody's maps, and even the enemies, and they'll see you. Let's say your chopper's in one spot, and there's only one spot you could be in there, like a house. They know you're inside the house. It's pretty much giving away your position. Counter UAV was super useful, mainly because you could just, counter each of these 2 UAVs. They have a regular UAV for the entire team, which is super good. I like that. The cruise missile was all right. It had a really good blast radius, but it took super long to use, and I don't think it was a good idea whatsoever to add that. The precision airstrike was pretty good. It's kind of like a missile strike, but with guns and stuff like that. It was all right. It's very situational, not the greatest. The wheelson was really good in open maps like Gunrunner, and even some short-range maps like Hackney Yard, where you can literally just almost hold the entire map with a wheelson in like one corner of the map, and your team on the opposite corner, and just literally gun them down. It was pretty good, not gonna lie. Next we have the VTOL jet, which was actually really good. It came down, dropped the missile, and then like hovered, kind of like in Modern Warfare 2, so that was very interesting. It was kind of weak compared to these other 2, the chopper gunner and the support helo. The chopper gunner you had to use yourself, which also took a long time and could have, obviously killed you if you weren't careful. So it's very interesting how that happened. The white phosphorus was pretty good. I liked how it affected the map, but I feel like it could have lasted a little bit longer. Obviously, we don't want the white phosphorus to literally kill people. That would be too OP. It's literally like dropping a nuke, but it definitely slowed people down and stuff like that, which was really interesting. I didn't get hit by white phosphorus, so I don't know what other people were experiencing, but I hit people with white phosphorus, and they were coughing, and I heard them across the map. So it was very interesting. Support helo is super good, pretty much just like a chopper in any other game. I'm glad that they've made it one of the higher tier score streaks. The gunship I didn't get a chance to use because I was using the Juggernaut, but I saw some people run the gunship, and it's pretty much like an AC-130 from MV2. OP as shit. And the Juggernaut, obviously, at the last thing was really awesome. You get a minigun. I feel like the recoil was a little bit high, but your pain to damage ratio was really good. So I really enjoyed that when it came to the game. Other than that, that's pretty much about it when it comes to the all the good things and the bad things. One of the good things and bad things about this game too is hitboxes, similar to every other game. You don't want to run the super beefy, this guy that has a whole ass suit on. You want to run the female character that has a smaller hitbox. That's pretty much what a lot of people are running. Same thing over here. You don't want to run this beefy, you know, default guy. You definitely want to be running one of the two skinnier characters just because it worked better that way. But that's pretty much what are the good things and the bad things about Call of Duty. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys are going to enjoy the full game when it comes out. This is just so far what we know. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more stuff in the full game. We'll have to see what happens then. Thank you all so much. I'll catch you guys next one. Peace.